What up, everybody? It's James Nell here, everybody's most creative redneck. I'm out here in the Ranger today. Just went and picked up breakfast for everybody. Got the amp put in a week or two ago. Haven't really been able to concentrate and finish up these videos the way I want to make them. I did get a full-time job back, which is nice. I think I was a little bit in denial about not needing or wanting a job. Amp link, that is funny. This whole garage was built out of pallets from that place. Like, I love working there, and I loved all the benefits of working there, and all the people there that are there now are really cool, and they're all good at their job, and I was always good at my job, and I feel like now there's going to be a lot more positivity there, and that's going to help me out a lot, and I appreciate all of them for that. I'm rambling. That's all I do is ramble. I just wanted to make an intro video for this, kind of briefly explain the fact that I haven't been here all the way lately. My mind has been pulled 14 different directions, and I kind of used doing the install in the Scion as a way to escape some bad stuff that's been happening to me. But anyway, I'm going to show this last part of the Scion install, the last part of getting the Ranger back together here, and the T-line box and the Scion sounded really good with its 8. I mean, it sounded really good, but apparently that sub just wasn't able to handle all the power, or maybe I had the gain cut up just a little too much on the amp, and it goes boom. But anyway, I'm gonna either buy a new sub for that one, or just go ahead and build the box for the 4/8, and that'll be another video coming up. This thing, that's where I put the bass knob. It does what it's supposed to do. Yeah, I mean, it sounds good. It doesn't have the weird cracking noise in the background. You don't hear the brake every time you hit it. It ain't popping through the speakers anymore, so that's good. The truck sounds less aggressive going down the road because it doesn't have engine noise coming through the speakers, so my wife is super happy about that. She'll be able to enjoy it for hopefully a long time to come. So there's my fuse block from way back, and it's got 2 of those little A&L fuses in it, and I figured that by the time I took both of those loose, or just take this one wire loose. So alright, battery's disconnected, no power to the back. Went ahead and let down the seat. I about forgot what it looked like back here. Alright, so there's the amps that's in it. If you want to see how I did all this, there is a part 1 through 4. They're not that good, but it does kind of explain where all this mess come from back here. But what we're going to do, take these 2 amps out, put 1 amp back, get rid of the LOCs back there, and then we won't have any RCAs either. Alright, let's start taking it apart, if I remember how. Let me sit here and figure this out. I'll pretty it up. I figure out what I'm doing over there with all that mess of wires, because those two LOCs in the bottom are coming out. All right. Oh, give me a few minutes. This should be entertaining. The one thing I am going to show real quick is, if you remember or go back and watch the Ford Ranger videos, I put these little harnesses on the ends of the LOC so that I could just disconnect them whenever. And there's your ground that I ran, and the remote turn on wire is in there too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these, and I'm going to butt connect wires to the end of these wires that'll connect back over to the harness that goes to the high-low right here. So that way I am eliminating these completely, but I am still keeping these plugs. I think that will just make this whole wiring thing a little bit easier today. Alright, so I know there's no sound. I know the fronts are the fronts, and the lefts are the lefts, and the rights are the rights. I made sure all that works. I made sure the sub works. I run the wire for the base knob. It works. There's no sound, which is awesome. That was the whole point of doing it. Alright, there it is. I'm going to play with it, fine tune it a little bit, and then turn my wife loose with it again and get back on the Scion. Day 47. Actually, I don't know what day it is. I've lost count. I have to skip days. Anyway, today is the day after doing the Ranger, and now I have amps that I can put back here and permanently mount. So the idea is to put them directly on the back of the seat, not on these boards that flop up. But I do believe there's room to hide the wires up under there somehow. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I don't know why I do this to myself. I wanted the amps on the seats. Okay, well, I did that. I wanted them high enough on the seats to where whenever they go up and down, there'll be some, you know, the cables will have somewhere to kind of down into, instead of being all tight. The RCAs had to come back up, and they'll get plugged up and tucked down nice. I decided to drill through that and go through that instead of under it, because I didn't want there to be a bulge under it. Alright, well, let me get these wires protected. Let me get these hooked up and mounted down properly and secured. And alright, here we go. So a long time later, here we have it. So the idea is, when the seats are up, you don't see them, and when the seats are down, you can get to everything, tune everything. I may or may not put a cover back over the bottom end of that way as you're lifting it up, it doesn't get caught on the bottom of the amp. You know, just something to where you don't have to grab the board and lift it up at the same time. What I'm saying is, I'm not done with it yet, but I'm done with it because it's late and I'm cold and I'm ready to go inside. The only thing I really have to do is run the remote wire, and I would have run that with the wires had I realized that I wasn't taking the one out of the Ranger. The one in the Ranger, not coming out. It's wrapped up with all the speaker wires coming down the side, and I'm not cutting all that mess loose. So acquire new base remote wire, and then figure out where we're going to put the base knob up front. I think I already know where I'm going to put it. Super easy. But that's it. Like it or lump it, like it or leave it. Hey look, I'm professional. So here I am, doing arts and crafts, minding my own business, trying to get these last speakers put in the car. I walk by the house to go to the building to get a Dremel so I can make pretty cuts, and I hear a torrent of water running from under the house. My wife's taking a shower. Apparently, a week or two ago, when it was negative something degrees for like a week every night, and it didn't get above freezing for like 8 days straight, that happened. Now that pipe, guarantee that pipe, look, somebody even welded a pipe to a pipe. Guarantee that pipe is from 1977. Well, pause, plum. Yay. Alright, so I got the baby hollering for me. Jesse's left for work. I need to go inside. This is what I've got done for today. I think it's going to be pretty much straight up and down. Not quite straight up and down, but it is going to be pretty vertical. I'll get out here tomorrow and throw some fiberglass down and actually make the pods. Today I had to play Mario and rig it a little bit since the P-trap that was on it had 2 fittings, and you can't go to Lowe's and buy P-traps with the fittings already on it. All the P-traps at Lowe's have the threads on it. So I had to do a little adapting. I might throw that picture in real quick of what I ended up rigging up. Anyways, oh, fun days. Tomorrow we're going to do some fiberglass, but that's it for today. Okay, so, as you can tell, I've done some taping. It ain't like a real fancy job. It ain't gotta be. I did cut down on the trim ring a little bit more. I am probably gonna lay it down a little flatter. I am gonna have to notch out for the tweeter more than I thought I was. But that's what we're about to do. I'm about to mark it out, figure out exactly what I'm gonna cut out. I'll probably cut out some sort of oval out of this. I don't know. But anyway, you'll see. Success. Let's see what was in there. Did I cut anything? Nope. Oh, alright. Continue. I don't know. It's starting to look like something. Fiberglass sucks. Not really. You just gotta be patient and you gotta have time. But it's getting somewhere. I'm gonna sit and keep monkeying with it. I don't know if I like that angle or not. I don't know if I like the angle like that, or if I like it sitting straight up, facing directly at you more. Kind of feel like off axis would be a little better, but not, maybe not quite laid all the way back. I don't know. I'm gonna play with it. I promised you the good, the bad, and the ugly. Obviously, here's some ugly. Without me having to pan around to the side. Can you tell what's wrong with it? Other than the fact that it's ugly. Yeah, it flattened out. I don't get it. Maybe it's because it's cold outside. But as soon as I pulled it off of the dash, it flattened out. I didn't add anything extra to it. That's just how it worked out. So by the time I got it cleaned up, sanded, smooth around the edges and all that jazz, and I went to set it back in here yesterday, it was flat. So, I don't know. Later on, I pouted about it all night, thought about it, and I think that if I cut that line off right there, give it a little arch, or on the back side, I think it's kind of savable. I think I can monkey with it, and I think I can still use what I got going on. I'm going to get rid of that Yankee tape, get rid of the metal, because fiberglass ain't going to stick to the metal, and get rid of that, sand it up a little bit more, and then figure it out. And yes, I just used toothpicks and hot glue to stabilize this, and it works good. Anyway, I'm going to mess with it some today. It's cold outside, but I need to get this done. I need to wrap this project up so my wife can have the garage back. It's been rainy and icky and nasty, and she's having to park out in the driveway in the gravel, and there's mud, and she hates it. So, trying to give her the driveway back, or trying to give her the garage back. Alright, let me play with it for a little while. I still don't like them. But they look better. Alright. So yes, they are very lightly sanded and then rhino lined. So you can still see the fiberglass. You can see all the imperfections in the fiberglass. You can tell that it doesn't fit right here exactly the way it's supposed to fit. But it's supposed to come all the way up here, but where the fiberglass flattened itself out, I kind of had to pull an audible there. Oh, the good news is they sound good, so that's a plus. So all I have to do now is maybe find some double stretch fabric and put on them, make them sound better. Not sound better, look better. You can't make them sound better by covering them. Look where I put the crossovers down here. I put them right here, out in the open, in the glove box. That way if I needed to unhook them or maybe change the tweeter attenuation, I could. So they're right there. I got my old school USB from way back in the day from the blue truck that's got a bunch of old school bass music on it. A bunch of Gorilla Zoe and a bunch of other stuff. But yeah, it's done. We have road tripped. Let me show you the subs real quick. Hold up. I said subs plural like there's more than one back here. Anyway, the P2D28. The amp's hidden behind everything. Wires all hidden. Love it. Alright. I guess my next step with this car is going to be to build the box for the 4/8. And then this car will be 1,000% complete. But before that, I might swap that with the wife's sub out of her truck just to see if the massive 8 sounds better in this box than that little itty bitty 8. Alright, well that's what it is, y'all. Stay tuned for the next stuff. I appreciate y'all.